Hey there. So here's our backstory. Last year, March 2016, my adrenals crashed right out with the help of friends and a naturopath, doctor. I adjusted my hormones, radically adjusted my diet, radically adjusted my schedule, spent a lot of time in bed resting. I couldn't sometimes lift my head, even didn't have the energy to do that. So over the last 9 months, there's been a lot of improvement in that. However, I would ever be in that place of just feeling like my adrenals could tank at any time. So that brings us to last night, New Year's Eve, where during dinner, they did just that. My adrenals crashed. I could barely get myself upstairs to bed and spent the rest of the night there in bed, couldn't even really move. In the wee hours of this morning, around 5 a.m., I guess, had to get up, go to the washroom. I was like an old lady bent over. I could barely walk. Took a long time to get to the bathroom and get back. I could feel despair starting to come on me. Not this again. I don't want to be back in this place. I told despair where to go to get out of here. I spoke to my adrenals. I blessed them. I just told my adrenal glands that Jesus has bore all of this and that they don't need to keep bearing all this big burden. And I just laid there. I felt to grab my phone and put on the headphones. I'm reading this cool book I got for Christmas called The Impossible. And in the book, the woman, son actually dies. He goes through the ice and dies. And she just contends for him. And in the hospital room, she keeps playing this song, When You Walk Into the Room. And she creates an atmosphere for God's presence. And so that was on my mind, and I put on that song, and I was laying there. During that time, Bob, my husband, woke up and started praying.
Yeah, I was there prayed for Lisa, and then as I was praying with my eyes closed, I looked up, and there was Jesus in the end of our bed. And I could see that he was ministering to Lisa, and it was so vivid. I began to ask, can I take a picture of this, and is that okay to do that? And with my phone, and or will it record you, or will it just show the end of the bed? I was fussing with that in my head, and then Lisa got out of the bed and started moving towards the end of the bed where he was, and then she kept going. He wasn't in the scene anymore, and she was gaining strength with every step. And she goes to the corner, and by this point, because of the dream or the vision of just seeing Jesus, I thought, Lisa's starting a war dance in worship. So I started to record it, and she didn't know it. She had her back to me, but it was she was just pumping the air with her fist, and just like she does at church, and it was awesome. All this strength, and her back was as straight as could be, and it was just, I knew that something miraculous had just happened.
Yeah, and so Bob didn't know that I was listening to the song When You Walk Into the Room, and here he saw Jesus in the room, which was amazing. And I had been laying there and just realizing what had been robbed from me through this adrenal fatigue, and I was thinking, wow, my kids have been robbed, my husband's been robbed, the ministry at HCF has been robbed from just what this has taken from me, and I was going through that and just remembering many years ago when the Lord had healed me, when I was reading about David at Ziklag and all that God restored that had been stolen from him. And so I was just kind of declaring this again. And then I heard the Lord say, I have been robbed because I fashioned you for worship. I have been robbed. And I could feel just the Lord tugging on me and saying, get up. And so it took all that I had to get up out of bed. But as I did, I could just feel strength coming on me step by step as I got out of bed. And I remembered a friend who had just believed for healing for me in this. And it was kind of surprising that I'd never really thought I could fully be healed. I just thought this was my new normal. And I'm worshiping, and as I'm worshiping, I remember another friend who had said, rise up, stand tall, you're a daughter of the King. And as I realized that stoopy, bent over thing just got off me, it dropped off me, and I was standing tall, and I was just a worshiping machine. It was amazing, and I feel totally myself. I feel like I've got my life back again. I feel amazing. My kids this morning were saying, "Wow, mommy, you're back. We don't have to lay in bed to play games with you anymore. We've been out on a family hike today. I've been walking the dog. We just feel like we have the biggest New Year's blessing ever, and we are so thankful." And we just want to say, yesterday at HCF, we announced our new theme, Awaken. We believe that all kinds of things are going to get awakened this year for us, and healing is one of them. Amen. And so we're so thrilled to walk in this on the first day of the year, and we're contending and believing that it will only multiply in the year ahead. Yeah. Amen.
Amen. Best miracle I've ever witnessed or been a part of.
Amen. Thank you, Amen. Jesus.